and didn't really know what he had left, which is, I find incredible. Why go for it?
60.
Well, 108.62 the Lewis average against Barneveld. 90.94 is his average so far. Manley hovering around 86, 87 in this semi-final.
Yeah, bang on his tournament average. He's got this far with that. I'm not sure whether Adrian can lift his average up to those dizzy heights against Barneveld.
Is it me? Is it me, or is Peter Manley taking his darts out of the board just a little too slowly? There we go.
Are you trying to get me in trouble with my boss? Yeah, I did notice in the first session, I said to you, I thought Peter was throwing quite fast, and I think he throws his best darts when he's throwing fast, but he's literally now, he seemed to try and quick Adrian up, and now he's trying to slow the tempo back down again. Alan Evans was a bit of a genius at that.
Well, possibly the worst example of that we've seen in modern times was in the World Championship semi-final at the Alexandra Palace when Mardle was playing Kirk Shepherd. Mardle came back from 3-1, and then Mardle just slowed his game completely to try and put Shepherd off, and it backfired, which sometimes it does.
Yep. If you're a slow thrower, you can quicken up. If you're a quick player, you can't slow up.
Well, this to break the throw. Adrian Lewis here. He's now got one dart at tops to break Manley, and pulls it badly underneath the wire.
Yeah, he's pulled a few already. 36 to hold throw. Bit fortunate. He missed this by a margin previously. This should slip in. Oh, big chance now for Lewis.
Well, when Lewis had that one dart at tops, Peter Manley had his back turned. He wasn't even watching. He isn't even watching now. Look at him. Manley's not bothered. He will be here if Lewis can clip this in off the barrel, and he does exactly that. So Lewis does break the throw. Interesting again. Manley with his back turned. And Lewis, though, that was perfect, wasn't it? Perfect. Aim for the barrel, and
yep,
9 times out of 10 it'll go in.
Take a fraction of weight off the dart, and it'll just slide in off the other one. It's very hard to do when you're down the side, when they're around the top of the board. Tops and 18s, they're relatively easy. Around the 16s, which Taylor makes look so easy, they're a little bit more difficult.
Oh, unlucky.
Straight in the same hole
it.
that was. That's the problem. He's literally, his repetition is so accurate that he's gone straight down the point of the other dart, the first dart. You see that a lot nowadays. It's not the boards.
60.
Well, last time we saw a break of throw, and Lewis broke Manley in the very first leg. Manley hit back straight away in the next.
Adrian will be disappointed with that. Just needs to give himself a little kick up the backside, I think.
Just give us a little insight, because you know, you've been through it many times. How can he produce a performance like he did against Barneveld, and then a couple of hours later come up here and come nowhere near? He's a full 20 points behind the average he achieved against Barney. Why is that?
Well, this game's extremely difficult. It's some days your first dart sits high in that 60, and you'll rattle 180s all day. You'll hit more 180s and you'll hit 140s. Other days you just can't buy a 180, but you'll hit 50 140s. It's just the nature of the game, I think. And he got off to a great start against Barneveld. He showed confidence, he was fresh, he was keen to play. This game, he's apprehensive. You know, he looks nervous, he looks on edge.
Yeah, I think it is excusable to a certain sense in that we know what's at stake for both of them.
But the fractions in this game, I mean, thickness of a wire, I know it's been said before and it's a bit of a cliche, but that's just the way it is. And as you already said, broke first leg. And what does Manley do? He responds and breaks straight back.
And he's done it again, so 4 apiece it is. My, the nerve ends are getting frayed here at the Submanov Arena in Frankfurt. Phil Taylor resting up. I'm sure watching this in the players' room down below with interest.
And also Adrian relies heavily on, you know, the muscle memory side of the game, the repetition, the amount of practice he puts in. It's literally all repetition. Where, I mean, you could almost blindfold the guy and he could hit 180s. I mean, that's how reliable his muscle memory is.
Well, we've seen him do it. You know, we've seen him sensationally hit blind 180s when he looks away, doesn't he, with 2 in the bed. Not even looking at the ball as he releases the third dart, knowing it's going in.
Yep, and if he's not breathing right, not getting enough oxygen through his body, we noticed in his previous game he was taking deep breaths. He was filling his body and his brain with oxygen. Here we go. This is better, much more relaxed.
Well, he's given himself a chance here to break the Manley throw again. For me here, as we approach the second break of this semi-final, 2 vital legs of darts.
Absolutely. Won't quite be as famous as my mate Keith Diller's 138, but it'll be equally as important for Adrian.
What a chance. This would be a sensational dart from Lewis.
Now, big shout for Peter. Trouble 21st.
Taking his time.
Stay
Still
there.
needs the treble. Well, not in. So Lewis here coming back. 3 darts at double 12. They'll snatch that one. Double 6. Has to compose himself. Use the barrel. And he did again. So 5-4 it is. Now can Lewis eke out a 2-leg advantage now on his throw for the first time in the semi.
This is when he's really got to try and push on now. Be really controlled. Steady ton 40s. That's rather unlucky, but they even themselves out.
It goes back to what you're saying about repetition. I mean, it was exactly the same place as the second dart.
Exactly. Well, they won't go into tungsten. But this is a big leg. 6-4 into the break. Go off that stage. Big smile. Deep breath. Come back and then just hold all the way to the end. We've seen Taylor do that against Thornton to go 8-7 up. This is similar territory.
Well, Taylor averaging 113, Thornton 102 in our first semi. These boys are on 88, 89, but for very contrasting reasons. It's still as exciting because of what's at stake. It really is.
Absolutely.
The drama of darts at the other end of the scale.
Yep, 20 points of his average against Barneveld, a full 20 points. And to me, I love games with big averages, and I also like games. Well, I mean, these aren't small averages. I mean, they're great averages. They're 28, 29 a dart. Very respectable. Win your most county games.
Well, just look, Manley's done it again, hasn't he? He's snuck up, he's stolen the darts off Lewis. Lewis, who broke to go 5-4 up, and here is Manley now, sitting on a possible 14 darter to see us level again.
Yep, he keeps doing it. He leads you under a false sense of security. You think, right, I've got him now, and you think you can just plod with 85s and tons, and then he musters up a couple of 140s and breaks you straight back, just like this.
Double top for Manley, brilliant, absolutely brilliant for Manley. A 97 finish, and it's turning out to be a dramatic semi-final. Who will be playing Phil Taylor later on in the European Championship final? Who will clinch a place in the Grand Slam a week on Saturday? Lewis or Manley? Find out the answer. We'll be back soon. It's 5-all.